Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Grace. I film on all things faith, positive living, and inspiration for everyday life. If you love this kind of content, do stick around and let's evolve together. Let's do this together, okay? Seeing that a few of us liked my wedding disaster story in my last video, I would like to share a few tips, just a few tips on things you shouldn't focus on, especially as a young woman thinking about getting a wedding or thinking about getting married. Things you shouldn't focus on at all. Don't focus on these things at all. Okay, they are not entirely related to my wedding disaster video, but at least you can take some one or two tips that will help you have a beautiful wedding, have a beautiful marriage eventually. First off, I would like to put it out there, these are entirely my opinions, these are entirely my views and perspectives. And if you have the money and if you are up for a grander wedding, is entirely up to you. But this is for it's really not your cup of tea, that's fine. But this is for my girls, my people, my young ladies who would want to save money, do practical things, and have beautiful weddings, beautiful marriages eventually, okay? The first thing you shouldn't be focusing on at all is your ring. Don't focus on your ring. Don't focus on your ring. Wearing a beautiful, cute, expensive ring, it's cool. It's really cool. It's the ish. It's really cool. But can you genuinely afford it? Can you genuinely afford it? Have you searched within you, spirit, soul, body, and mind, financial coffers? Can you and your spouse, that young man, you as a young lady, are you able to genuinely afford that ring that you want? If it's expensive, overly expensive, beyond your budget, I feel you shouldn't focus on that. You can get something very cute, something very simple and very beautiful, affordable within your range, your budget, that you can wear and put on to show everybody that yes, I also got married. Other than that, I feel, in my opinion, no, don't focus on getting an expensive, extravagant ring. Diamonds are forever. Gold is good. All those jewelries, all those fine things that jewelries are made of are good. It's beautiful. But can you genuinely afford it? Is it practical at the moment as a starter, as a young woman, especially in your 20s, going to get married, even in your early 30s, you and your spouse, are you able to afford that genuinely? If it isn't, I don't know why you should be focusing on that. If it isn't the case, you shouldn't be focusing on that. Move away. Don't focus on your ring. Don't focus on your ring. Yes, eventually when you grow together, you build together, you get the money, you can splurge, your marriage is blooming, growing beautifully. You can have your anniversaries, you can eventually buy that diamond that you want, that expensive ring that you always wanted. But in the first stages, as you start, don't focus on the ring. Yes, I said it. I said it again. Disclaimer: if you have the money and it's not your cup of tea to wear any ring at all, yes, do go ahead. By all means, do go ahead and get a fine ring. But if you can't afford it, pass. Another thing you shouldn't be focusing on at all is trending and trends. Don't focus on your wedding trending. Don't focus on trends. Don't focus on that trending corset. Don't focus on that trending hairstyle. Don't focus on that trending gown. See, please, if you have the money, if you're not up for that, see, it's really not for you. That's fine. But if you're just starting, you don't have enough to do everything that you wish, you shouldn't be focusing on trending. You shouldn't be focusing on that long vendor list. Who am I to say that, especially when I had a disastrous wedding? Yes, yes, yes. But from the little experience I have, I've been married for 6 years, it wouldn't matter. Trends wouldn't matter. That hairstyle wouldn't matter. That wedding gown wouldn't matter. That shoe wouldn't matter. That big fan you want. look beautiful, look beautiful. I'm not saying in any way, nobody is saying don't look beautiful, don't get the fine things. Yes, but it shouldn't be trending. You shouldn't want your wedding to trend at all cost. It's like I'm in the wedding and gifting industry, so I sort of know what I'm talking about. There are just some genuine people who also want their weddings to trend, and people who genuinely want their weddings to trend, their engagements to trend, which is okay. Nobody, nobody has an issue with that. But it is something that is necessary. Should you be focusing on that as a young woman getting married, as a young woman about to start life journey with a man, as a young woman, you shouldn't be focusing on trending at all. It's not your cup of tea. Trending is not your cup of tea. The trendiest makeup, the trendiest hairstyle, the trendiest skin tint, you shouldn't focus on that. Don't focus on trending. Because you know what? After you go and get that beautiful makeup from that trending makeup artist or that beautiful gown, after that, you just become another number. That's the truth. That is the truth. You become another number, and nobody even really cares about you after that day. After that Saturday, nobody cares. Nobody really cares. You become another number, another statistic to that event organizer, to that makeup artist, to that designer. So do not focus on trending. Get all the vending list. Make sure that we see all the tags. Tag all your vendors. Yes, tag all of them. Get that long vendor list. It is good, but it is not, it shouldn't be your focus, your primary focus. If you have the money and you want to do trendy, that is for you. But for all my girls, like I'm saying, for all my people who are just going to start, are starting up, and you need this tip, it's for you. Don't focus on trends. Don't focus on your wedding trending on Instagram, on YouTube, on TikTok, on WhatsApp. Just don't focus on trending. It really doesn't matter. Nobody really cares. So another thing you shouldn't be focusing on, especially as a young woman planning your wedding or trying to get married, is comparing yourself to the other person, comparing yourself to the next person, comparing yourself to what Grace did. Well, you can't compare yourself to me because my wedding was a disaster, but then comparing yourself to your friend who did it, it's almost linked to the trending stuff. You're comparing yourself to what that celebrity did. Celebrity. You're comparing yourself to what that friend at church did. You're comparing yourself to what that colleague friend at work did. Don't compare. Don't focus on comparing yourself at all. It's these things, you shouldn't focus on them at all, because we have different personalities, different blessings, different future. Everything about our lives are different as individuals, so there's no way it will be the same. You can compare, go get the same things, but it won't be the same. That dress that you saw Mrs. A wearing, when you go get it, trust me, most likely you wouldn't be looking like you saw Mrs. A look. It almost may never be the same. So do not compare. Do your best not to focus on what the other person did. Don't focus on what somebody else did. It won't matter. It won't matter. It won't matter that day in the wedding. It won't matter afterwards in your marriage. So do not compare yourself to the celebrity, the popular people, what the popular person did. If you want to compare yourself, if you can afford it, you are up for that mentally, financially, socially, and you're up for that. Good, good, good. But for my people, I just feel I have to emphasize on this. I have to emphasize and give this disclaimer along the way, okay? Just don't focus on that. Don't focus on comparing yourself, or don't compare yourself to what the other person did. It wouldn't matter. You are different personality. Your body type may even be different from that bridal gown you want to wear. The bouquet that person held, you cannot hold the same bouquet. Even if you hold that same bouquet, it may not look as nice and beautiful as you saw the other person. Go for what fits you. Go for what fits your body. Go for what works on your skin tone. Just everything that fits you, your personality, your style as an individual, as a beautiful young woman that you are. Okay, don't pretend what you don't have. Don't don't just make don't just make it difficult for you. The thing about not staying true to yourself and what you can really afford and what works best for you is that not long after you're not able to keep up. You can do all that even in the first. You can try force, compare force, and get the trendy things force and buy that expensive ring, but you're not able to keep up. You end up going hungry. When you start the marriage, you end up not having enough, and it just leads to one thing after the other. So you can in the first place just prevent that in the first place by avoiding and not focusing on all these things. They are good, they are beautiful. Eventually when you have the money, you go forth, you can get all the things that you couldn't get. You can enjoy all the things, enjoy all the beautiful things, wear all the expensive clothes, make up for all those beautiful events. But in the meantime, when you are starting, you are just about to start that wedding, just about to start that marriage, just don't focus on these things at all. Pretending to be happy, pretending to have what you don't have, telling us all that you are okay, telling us all that you can really afford that dress, you can really afford whatever it is, and going back to cry shouldn't be the case. You shouldn't put your life, your beautiful life, through that. 2 Timothy 3 verse 13 says that pretenders will go from bad to worse. That's what the Bible is saying in 2 Timothy 3:13. The people who pretend will move from bad to worse. So do not pretend, and then they will be fooled and they will be fooling people. So you will be fooling people and you'll be fooled too. That's what the Bible says about pretenders. And it isn't a good thing to pretend. It isn't a good thing at all to focus on what you don't have, to focus on what you are not. Okay, so this is for my lovely people, all of you who are interested, care to know, care to take this advice. I mean, we are moving on to the end of the year and a lot of weddings are going to come up. A lot of us will be wanting to get into that groove of the getting married. Yeah, a lot of people have slated dates. Personally, I know a few of my friends who have dates coming up, going to get married. So these tips will go a long way to help all of us by not focusing on these things. Okay, so that is it. Thank you for watching. Thank you for all the love, for subscribing, for the likes. I mean, you guys make me happy. I'm still in very, very early stages, but I'm happy. And I thank you for all the likes, all the comments that especially I got on my last video. Keep supporting me. Subscribe, like, share. Give me more of them, okay? I feel that I'm getting better as the days go by, okay? Give me more of them, and then we'll evolve together beautifully and become all that God has purposed for us, all that God really wants us to be, okay? No pretense, no focusing on things that don't matter. All right? Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye-bye.